Today, we talk about my wish list for sneakers. All right, so I really don't want to belabor this, so let's just get right into it. Next, the Pigeon Dunks, the Nike Pigeon Dunks. Now, I fucked up here, okay? This shouldn't be on my list, but there's a reason why it's on my list. So, not too long ago, sometime last year, someone posted a size 11 pair of Nike Dunks in the Pigeon colorway. And I didn't jump on it because I was under this impression that I was going to make this perfect vlog and go down there and get featured on Flight Club Snapchat back when they were relevant. Am I right? Like, you're done, Flight Club. It's over. But back then they were relevant still. So I had this big vision in my head of what was going to happen, and I didn't want to blow my load. So I waited, and waiting was stupid, especially for a pair as iconic as those Nike Pigeon Dunks. So I missed out. Now, I do have the Puma Pigeons, but they don't hold a slimmer of a candle compared to those Nike Dunk Pigeons. So I'm hoping I'll come across another pair sometime soon, hopefully for somewhere around that same price range of $8,000, which sounds ridiculous, but that's how much they were going for. And at this rate, I wish I had pulled the trigger at that time, and I didn't. So at this rate, whenever that sort of sizing of a pair pops back up on eBay, I'm going to be screwed because I imagine it'll be at least that much, if not more, but we'll see. Hopefully not. Now, the alternative to that is Greg Streets. If you're watching this, either now or in the future at some point, Greg, if you can bless me with one of your fucking 50 pairs of Nike Pigeon Dunks, I would be fucking appreciative, okay? You don't need that many pairs of Pigeon Dunks. Don't even give it to me. Just sell it to me. Just sell it to me. I need them shits. And you don't need them. You got them already. You don't need that many pairs. Give me a fucking pair of Pigeon Dunks. Fuck you. I say that with love. You're the shit. I respect you in the sneaker game. Without you, I wouldn't know as much as I know now about sneakers, so don't take it personal, Greg. I'm just really mad. I'm just really mad I don't have the Nike Pigeon Dunks. That's what happens when you don't have a pair of Nike Pigeon Dunks. You get pissy. Okay? So the fact that you have like what, 8 pairs or whatever, just hook me up. I'll pay for it. And you don't even need the money, but I'll pay for it. Or I'll donate to charity or whatever the fuck we can work out. We'll figure it out. Just give me a pair of Nike Pigeon Dunks, okay? All right, thanks, man. Anyway, moving on. Next, the Nike Pegasus. Now, I do have a pair of the Nike Air Pegasuses in those Pegasus in the OG colorway, but the problem was I was in such a rush in my initial parlay into sneakers that I bought a size too small, and I bought it without the box, which I never do. I never, ever buy a pair of sneakers without the box. It's just a cardinal sin for me personally. The box is just as important to the sneaker as anything else, and I fucked up. So I got desperate and I got greedy, and I bought a pair of those Air Pegasus in the OG grayish blue slate colorway without a box, in a size that doesn't even fit me. I can squeeze into them shits, but it's not comfortable, and I really don't know why I did that. But I did it, and I'm just hoping that Nike retros that pair sometime soon. So, it is what it is. Next, the Reebok Question Mid. Now, this also falls into that regret category. So, way back when I started collecting sneakers, I just went all the fuck out, all right? And what happened was I ended up buying a pair of Reebok Questions. These were the OGs, but when they arrived, I realized I was in such a rush buying, like, at that time, I forget what other sneakers I was buying around that time, but I bought so many sneakers in such a short amount of time that I didn't even realize that I had just bought a pair of low-top Reebok Questions and not the mid-top OGs. So I'm just going to have to swallow that bullet. And I'm not going to wear them. Maybe I'll feature them as a giveaway pair, which I don't even know who the fuck would want those things. But at this point, I'm just not even going to wear them. They're still dead stock, and I'm just going to wait until I get the, mid-top. Next, the OG Ewing. So I want a pair of OG Ewings in that Knicks colorway. Now, I'm not a Knicks fan. I really don't give a shit about the Knicks colorway. It's kind of popping with the orange and the blue, but it's not something I rock very often. But if I was going to rock it, I would rock it on a pair of Ewings. Not because I think him, the center, was OD, which granted, I'm not a fucking basketball player, right? So who the fuck am I to complain about a basketball player in the NBA not being OD? Like, that guy was, in some people's opinions, the greatest center of all time. At least as far as Knicks fans go, right? But in my opinion, the main reason I want a pair of Ewings is because that's his brand. He decided to branch out and create his own brand and create his own sneaker in a time where it wasn't that popular. Like, to leave juggernauts like Nike, Adidas, Converse, etc. to make your own brand, that's just ballsy. And this was in the pre-big baller brand era where you're making your own sneakers. Okay, so Patrick Ewing gets a lot more credit than LeVar does in this setting. So for that reason alone, I do want to collect a pair of OG colorway Ewings, but we'll leave it at that. Next, the Converse Weapons. Now, this is another pair, coming back to the Converse pairs here. I would love a pair of Converse Weapons in the OG Magic Johnson colorway. So if you don't recall this magical advertisement that showed Converse displaying Magic Johnson and Larry Bird pitted against each other, both holding Converse Weapons. Obviously, Larry Bird holding his pair, Magic Johnson holding the Lakers-inspired pair, standing up against each other's shoulders. This was just fucking badass as fuck, in my opinion. And in my case, I would take the Magic Johnson pair because, in my opinion, Magic Johnson was just better than Larry Bird, period. That's just my opinion. But I have so much fucking respect for Larry Bird. He was such an incredible player. If you've studied the NBA, if you've studied basketball history, you cannot overlook Larry Bird. He was the shit. Plain and simple. There's no debate. If you debate it, you don't know basketball. I'm sorry. That's just facts. Regardless of all that, I can't have two pairs of Converse Weapons. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. So if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick the Magic Johnson, Lakers-inspired Converse Weapons. And not just for that reason, but for a second reason, actually. And the second reason is Kobe Bryant actually rocked this pair during his sneaker free agency period between when he left Adidas and signed with Nike. So all those things considered, Lakers being my favorite team, Magic Johnson being, in my opinion, the greatest, if not the second greatest Laker of all time, next to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant and Magic are just like 1A, 1B. And I can't even say who's A and who's B, but regardless, that's not the debate today. The point is, Nike, stop fucking around and bring back the Converse Pro Leathers and bring back the Converse Weapons in the Magic Johnson colorway. Stop fucking around with this Jumpman bullshit. I don't have time for this bullshit, okay? Next. On that note, the Converse Pro Leather in the Dr. J colorway. Now, Michael Jordan had his pair. I already went on a rant about this with the Michael Jordan bullshit that's being released. We're not even going to go there again because I'm already fucking angry. But the Pro Leather in the Dr. J colorway, please release both. The Dr. J and the... Actually, you know what? Yeah. Now that I think about it. Please release the Dr. J and the Michael Jordan pack at the same time. Let everyone fucking dive for that Michael Jordan pack so that I can comfortably cop the Dr. J colorway for retail. That's all I ask. Okay, Nike, please grant me that wish. Please! I just can't believe you did that dunk. Oh, especially on my Lakers. Holy shit. Honestly, that may be the greatest dunk of all time in my opinion. Rivaled with Vince Carter. Dr. J's dunk was just, oh my God, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe that was an actual dunk in an actual game. That was just incredible. Anyway, we're moving on. Next. Speaking of the Lakers and the Showtime era, the New Balance James Worthy signature pairs. And this is a hilarious story. The fact that New Balance prided itself on never endorsing anyone specifically. And then, of course, this first person they endorsed. I believe it was the first person. Don't quote me on it. I'm 89% confident that it's the first person they ever endorsed, and let alone got his own signature sneaker. The hilarious part here is, shortly after that $1 million deal, he got caught with a hooker, and his deal got stripped. So I think that's a hilarious story, in my opinion. No one even remembers that about James Worthy. When I learned about James Worthy and learned more about James Worthy, that prostitute story never came up. The only context I learned about that prostitute story was in the context of learning about New Balance. So I think that's incredibly hilarious, but I have less of a threshold to being offended than a lot of other people, so itty woody. But anyway, especially this particular photo where I imagine that's his wife. I imagine that's his wife in the photo looking at him like, bitch, is you serious? Oh, God, that's so fucking classic. I don't know. Anyway, I hope to God New Balance retros that. I could totally see why they wouldn't, but I pray to God that they do. That's all I'm going to say. Next, the Nike Lunar Racer. So I believe if my homework has been done correctly, the Nike Lunar Racer was the first time Nike had introduced Lunar Lawn technology to Nike sneakers. So I would love to have that inaugural model, but it's just impossible to find at this point. I've looked on eBay, I've looked on all the resale sites. It's just not like a popular hype model. So, of course, it's not going to be for sale. And any runner that's running them has already run in them. So it's kind of like, whatever. But hopefully some kind of anniversary edition whenever Nike decides to wise up and, like, actually put out shit we want to buy. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. If you made it through this last part, especially with the shitty audio, I appreciate you. But with that said, more on the way. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the next one. We out. Peace.